Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. The rise of Web3 and the Metaverse have understandably stirred up questions about how the future of work will be impacted in this new virtual world. Joining me to discuss is Donnie White. He's the co-founder and CEO of Satisfi Labs. Donnie, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You got it. And how are companies and brands looking to AI for hiring in the Metaverse?
If you think about the metaverse, the concept of open and closed no longer exists. How do you staff 24/7 when I can digitally come into your environment any point in time? So just think about conversational AI, voice AI. Those are going to become the tools that really become the customer care point of reference and point of sale. That's why companies are embracing it even more now as they think about the future.
What are some initiatives taking place in the Metaverse to better connect people and places?
So right now, look at the Atlanta Braves. They are building a virtual stadium. They just announced it. You'll see the same thing in Europe with Man City. So as you think about these applications, they need to now create a conversational experience in order to get the most out of them. NFTs are a hot topic too, but do people really understand what they're buying or how to leverage them in the metaverse? Conversation solves uncertainty. And so what you're seeing is an embracing of this tech to create these virtual experiences that are also educational for the consumer to maximize these experiences.
And how is AI disrupting the employment market by making conversational AI hireable?
I think in the initial realm, it was thought to be a replacement for human labor. I see this as an expansion of a new labor force. So AI staffing is going to be a thing that you'll hear about as the metaverse, even the physical environment, both need new jobs, not the replacement of jobs or reduction, but new jobs that only AI can do because of their ability to be basically omnipotent and all knowledgeable at some points in time.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about virtual replacements. I remember when they had reporters that were derived in a virtual capacity, and I was like, yeah, I'm not too interested in hearing about that. But it really is pretty cool to see how all these different applications are being done, not in an us versus them setting, but really amplifying what we know is reality. What ways will voice technology play in the metaverse, and how can brands distribute information virtually?
Voice is the preferred method of all or most of our conversations today. You'll see the voice search has grown, I believe, 3 times even during the COVID period. And to think about wearing goggles or even some AR experience, voice will be the way that you interact with most of your brands in the future. So even as Google Assistant, Alexa, Siri, people have embraced them as more from a mobile experience. When you're in your avatar or you're in your virtual world, voice is going to be your primary point of reference and contact. So the evolution that's already here is just going to be created at a much more accelerated rate because the metaverse is going to require it.
So in other words, voice AI can almost lend a brand some sort of character, or its identity is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and it can also provide greater information with an easier discoverability that gets us a personalized experience that we want. Whereas today there's so much around text and typing and such. Voice is just so much more direct and intimate, if you will.
So Don, explain to me where Satisfi Labs fits in this ecosystem.
Our business is conversational AI and we're making it hireable. So we're creating AI assistants that really go into your org chart, places that humans don't exist today, and have some surfaceable job or task that your consumer needs. So as the demand for information or commerce grows, we are supplying these AI employees to your organization. We're heavily in sports, entertainment, and tourism, obviously all markets that are interested in the metaverse. So it's great for us to continue down our path.
Right. And Donnie, let me ask you from a practical application perspective, how would I as a consumer use a voice AI app? Give us an example of what that experience looks like or sounds like.
Today, even if you use a Google Assistant product and ask a Major League Baseball team about their stats or ticketing, our assistants would be the ones answering behind the scenes. As you think about putting goggles on and then a voice activation through that, you would still have a conversation with your engaged product or application, and things would be surfaced to you as if a human on the other side were like your personal concierge. So today it's home or phone application. The future, it's going to be goggle or in a 3-dimensional realm.
All right, Donnie, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.